Hello, family, and welcome to the first episode of Uncomfortable but Necessary, where we have conversations that are just like, what the podcast is termed uncomfortable. But these are conversations that are necessary for every individual, especially young individuals that want to grow and, you know, transform in any area of our life. So if you're someone that you want a space, or you're eager to be a part of a platform that is big on transformation, having truthful, sincere, unfiltered conversations, then this is the place for you. So today, which is our first episode, we'll be having this topic which I like to tie to "You Are Not Lost," because we're having this as our first episode because I noticed that as young people, as young individuals, especially in the past few months, most of the conversations I've found myself having, or questions I've seen people ask me, is about, certainty, or sometimes, they feel they are lost as to a choice to make, or a decision to make, or a path to make. We often find the easy route to term things, and we say, oh, I don't know, because I'm confused to what is going on, so I think I'm lost. And as simple, as quick as we might find that to, jump on because your lack of words, sometimes it is not necessarily true, because we find it difficult to know how to unfold, unravel, and dissect what we are actually going through. And in today's episode, I will be helping you to understand, you know what you might be going through, to know if you're actually confused, if you're lost, or probably what you're just feeling is unfulfillment. Because sometimes we find it difficult to name our emotions, name our circumstances, name our situations. We find it difficult to, be able to define or express what we are going through. So this is what today's podcast is on, to help us evaluate our seasons, evaluate what we are going through in our situations, the peculiarity of our circumstance, and be able from there, we'll be able to know, oh, okay, this is what is going on, this is what is happening to me, this is what I need to do. Because sometimes people are just asking, what should I do? And when we find it difficult to define what exactly is wrong, we are many steps backwards to the solution, or what we need to do. So today, the first thing I would like to talk about is, you really need to understand what it means to feel lost. And we're talking about various things, and I would like to start this way by letting you know that there's a difference between feeling lost, feeling stuck, and feeling unfulfilled. These are three different feelings you can have, and if care is not taken, you can mistake being lost to being stuck, and you can also mistake it to being unfulfilled. Being lost is, for example, I'm going somewhere, and I get to a place and it looks like I don't know where else to go to, or where I am looks like where I'm not going. It doesn't look like where I should be. That's when you say I'm lost. You cannot be lost without knowing where you should be. That means if you're actually experiencing lost, like you're feeling lost, that means you know your present situation, or you know the present location that you are is not the actual location it should be. Does that make sense? That means I cannot know if I'm lost if I don't know the right way. So I can only be lost when I know, oh, this place does not look like it, or this place does not look like where I'm headed to, or this place is not where I should be right now. That is being lost. Being stuck is, oh, I'm supposed to go to this place, or I'm supposed to go from point A to point B, but something is stopping me from moving, or I can't help myself to move. Or let's say your mode of transportation had an issue. Let's say you're going with your car, and your car got stuck in the on the probably in the pit, probably it fell in a pit and you're stuck. You cannot continue on your journey. That is being stuck. That means you know where you are, you know where you're going, but the mode of transportation or something that will help you in moving, in continuing on your journey, there's a bridge. There's something, affecting that journey. And being unfulfilled is, oh, I've moved from point A to a destination, but this destination, I don't feel like this is where I need to be. Can you say that there are three different things, and if care is not taken most of the time, we'll misinterpret these different stages as one or the other. So being lost is where from being stuck, is where from being unfulfilled. So even though we might at different points in our lives have all of, or one or two or three of these events play out at the same time or at different times in different areas of our life, probably in your finance you're feeling stuck, or in your purpose you're feeling lost, or in your career you're feeling unfulfilled. So this is the first thing I think you need to do. You really need to take the inventory of what is going on with you. You really need to be able to define, are you actually feeling lost, or you're, and there's another thing, and another word that I think we often confuse to this is confusion. Sometimes what you're feeling is confusion, not necessarily feeling lost. And feeling lost is, I know where to go to, or I know where I'm supposed to be, but I can't find my way there right now. I'm confused. It's, I don't even know what to do. I don't know where I should go. I don't know where I am right now. I don't know what should take me from where I am to where I need to get to. So we need to be able to decipher, what is really going on with us, be it in your marriage, in your relationships, in your finance, in any area of your life. So I need you to understand that being lost is different from being stuck and different from being unfulfilled. So the next thing I would also like to talk about is that we need to, so for you to be able to um really define or be able to point out what is really going on in your life right now, I need you to be very, very honest, because sometimes you're not necessarily lost. You are not just honest with yourself, you're not honest with your situation, you're not honest to admit that you're lost, or you're not honest to admit that, yeah, you've gotten to a destination you put out for yourself, but what you're feeling is unfulfillment. Sometimes we tell ourselves, oh, when I'm able to do this, accomplish this, get this degree, relocate to this place, start earning so amount, in a year, when I start to have this, or when I get married, I will be happy. When we have those destination, I call them destination, like a place you want to arrive at. And when you eventually get there and you feel like, oh, I'm not getting the feeling, or I'm not getting the satisfaction or the fulfillment I think this should bring to me. So sometimes we are not honest enough to tell ourselves that is what we are feeling. We feel like, oh, probably, oh, I did not do it well, or probably, what you're actually feeling is unfulfillment. Probably you thought that, after your master's, or after your doctor's degree, you're going to earn certain respect, and probably that is not happening. or you think when you get a license, your income is going to increase, and that is not happening. Or you feel, oh, when I get married, I'm going to be more happier, or when I get into a relationship, I'll be the most happiest person on earth, and you're in a relationship and you're not close to being happy. So what you really need to do right now is to be honest with yourself, because what you might be going through might not necessarily be lost. You might not necessarily be lost. Probably you're not just being honest. And we need to agree together, that you're going to be honest with taking this inventory as to what is going on in our lives. So that way you'll be able to know, okay, this is what is wrong, before you start saying, what should I do? Sometimes it's not just about what you should do, it's probably what you need or who you need to become. So I will need you to really, really be honest with yourself. You really, really be honest and tell yourself what is going on. Am I lost? Am I confused? Am I stuck? Or am I just not being fulfilled? Am I not just having this fulfillment I thought I would have after having this or having that? Then the second thing I would like us to, you know, take note of is that, there are just some lies that makes us have these emotions, or make us, have these kinds of feelings. So maybe the feeling you're having is not from you. This is what I mean by that. Do you know that even though you told yourself, um, for example, let's say a young person that said, oh, when I get married, I'm going to be happy, and that is all I need to be happy. I will be fine just to get married, and that is all. And let's say you eventually got married, and next people, okay, let's say before that, people have been asking, when are you going to get married, and all of that. You got married eventually, and now that you're married, people are asking, when are you going to have your first child? So instead of you to enjoy the moment of being married, enjoy, have the fulfillment of someone that is married, you're not content with that level of fulfillment. Not because you did not attain what you set out for yourself, not because you did not get what you wanted, but because society, but because people are mounting some kind of pressure or asking you a different kind of question. So probably why you're feeling that way is not because you're not fulfilled in that marriage. It's not because your spouse is a bad person. It's not because you are stuck in that marriage. It's just because people are asking a different question from what you know, from the destination you gave yourself, from the, plan you gave yourself, from the, things you set out for yourself to do. How the society is demanding something different from us. This could be our family, this could be our church members, this could be people that look up to us, this could be people that just feel they have the right to question our authority, our choices and our decisions. And it makes us to start to question what we've actually done, or the things that we've actually, told ourselves, this is what I want to do. So probably why you're feeling that way is not because your accomplishments or what you accomplished, or the destination you found yourself is not what you desired. It was what you desired, it was what you wanted, but because society is demanding something different, or people are asking a different question, and it's making you shift your gaze from enjoying the moment, from praising yourself, oh, well done, girl, you've done this. It's just like someone that you just finished school, and you're hoping to get to a firm, and you eventually got to a firm, and let's say your dream job, in fact it's your dream job, right? And probably you, so let's say you have your classmate, or probably a family friend that also finished, the same time you also finished from school, and probably this person got what, you know other people see as better than your own job. even though the job you got is your own dream job. But to other people that do not understand your values, your purpose, the things you want for yourself, they see this other person as more fulfilled than you are. And if care is not taken, probably your parents, let's say, your family friend, right? And your parents are kind of comparing, oh, why are you having this kind of job, or why are you going, taking this career path? Don't you see this so and so, doing this, now she's working there, or now she's working there, why are you going this path? Not because the path you chose for yourself is bad, but because society, see refuse to see your part as your part. They feel they they have a better say as to what your life should look like. And if it's not playing out the way they think, or the way we as a society have been conditioned to see success, we start to compare. So even though you got your dream job, you might be talked out of it because of society, because of what people are saying. So even though you got that job, even though you got that relationship, even though you were able to attain that level of success that you've put out for yourself, but because of what people are saying, or because you start to feel in certain way, and one of those feelings that people start to feel is I am not good enough, or you start to compare yourself. Let's say probably what you told yourself 5 years ago is I want to do this, and you eventually did that, or I want to get my BSc and you did that, or I want to get my masters and you did that. Now 5 years later you find a private schoolmate that's already a doctor, and you start to beat yourself and like, oh, I should have done better, or I should have, gone ahead, or I should have been like this other person. Even though initially that was not what you set out for yourself. And even though, this can, when managed well, can be like a drive, can encourage you to do more for yourself, saying like, oh, since this person has done this thing, that means I can also do this thing if I want to, or if it aligns to my value, or if it aligns to my purpose. That is one of the closest that most of us will forget to add. As beautiful as some things are, they are not necessarily for us. Now, I tell people, if any profession I choose or any path that I choose to go, in career, trust me, if you're around me, probably a family member or a friend, you will feel that's the best profession to be in. You will feel that's the best career to be in, because I will own it. I will feel like I cite this, oh my God, there's nothing else as good as this on earth. So the thing is not about your choice. The thing is, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as good enough? Do you see the path that you're in as what you want for yourself? Like what you really want, not what you want as a result of the societal pressure, or the societal comparison, or the societal definitions. There are lots of things that I don't just, I am not just moved by them. Not because those things are bad, but because I know the paths that I've chosen. I know who I am. I know, what I represent. I know where I'm headed to. I know things that to me are a distraction. To other people, it might even be their own necessary requirement or their skill in their field, but for me it's a distraction. So imagine me trying to do the work of this other person because, oh, they find it, they find it enjoyable, or they find, or some set of people find it entertaining to do. Even though it is good for them, it might not be good for me. So that is why you need to be truthful to yourself, and stop telling yourself lies like, I am not good enough. Because I find out that when people are feeling stuck, or when they feel lost, or when they feel unfulfilled or confused, one of the things we say to ourselves is, I am not good enough. That is not true. Okay. Another lie we say to ourselves is everyone else has figured it out. I have not. Even though that might not be necessarily true, because you're not living these people's life. Do you know that most of the time we only it's just what the eye met. It's you're not living their life. You're not even even though you say, oh, I know them, they shared this post, these things, this is what is going on in their life. As much as you're not living their life, you cannot actually say that they have it all figured out. Trust me, every one of us have something we are figuring out at one point or the other. It's different at these things that are figuring out is different to different individual at different points, in different phases, at different degrees, right? In different levels. So for example, someone that is having, for example, now we can all be having relationship issues, or we are trying to figure out our relationships. But what I'm figuring out in my relationship might be different from what you're figuring out in your relationship. And the degree as to what I'm confused or I'm trying to figure it out might be very different from yours. Because the peculiarity of my situation is different from yours. My reality is different from yours. Where I'm headed to is different from yours. My purpose is different from yours. My circumstance, my situation is different from yours. So even though we might carry these, with different levels of graces. Some of us have a different way of carrying this thing. People carry these things so gracefully, and it makes us to feel like, oh, they have it all sorted, or they have it all figured out. It might not be true most of the time. So I need you to understand that the fact that you're still figuring out some things about your life, probably where to live, whether you want to travel, or the career path you want to take, or the relationship you want to go into, or should you have children, or you're just, you know, caught in the web of making life choices or decisions that are very, very vital for your being. I want you to know that we do not all have it figured out. Forget the camouflage. Forget the forget the filters and the makeups and the wigs and the designers. Forget the beautiful houses. Forget the well created videos and reels you see on Instagram. Hey, nobody has it all figured out. At some point or the other, there is something we are figuring out. If not in our finance, it will be in our relationship. If not in our relationship, it will be in our relationship with God. It might be with friends. It might be, with enemies. So we all have different battles you're fighting at different stages, at different levels and phases. So all you just need to do is tell yourself, I will carry it with grace. I need the grace to carry mine, and be true to myself, and know what I'm doing, know where I'm headed, be certain as to what my purpose is, who am I, where am I going to. All right. And another lie we also tell ourselves, which often bring about disappointment, is I don't really know how to call this, but I'll just say I'll be happy when I get there. You know, when we say words like, oh, I'll be happy when I get married, or oh, what I'm feeling right now is because I'm not earning so amount of money. When I start to earn this money, I will be more happy, or I'll be more happier, or I'll be more comfortable, or I'll be smile more, or I'll be more jovial. Hello. One thing I've learned over time is never allow what you're going through steal the joy of the moment. Never. Whether it's disappointment, let me give you a tea. As this generation we call it, right? Tea, right? Oh, I used to think that tea is what we drink, but now this is what we share, what we say. Wow. Okay, so I think I've never shared this before. So you're the first to hear it. Okay, so during my wedding ceremony, um for the reception, something happened. So there's this particular song I was going to, when you're coming, when you're having your first dance, your entrance dance with your spouse, when you're coming in, the bridegroom and the maid, bridal maids, everyone already inside. They also took their dance. They already got into the hall, and it was my turn and that of my husband to come in with our entrance song. So everything was already sorted. We already had an album and the digs for or flash for it and all of that. But I don't just know what happened. But I just found out that a different song was playing, and I find it difficult to just even though I won't say I was angry. Probably frustration was the word. I was like, no, 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 you're not doing this to me. You know, not today. You're not doing this to me. This, do you know how I because I personally chose the song, chose everything. I'm like, do you know what I went through? Do you know how I've planned this? I've pictured this, imagined this. And now you want to do this to me? No, you cannot. I'm not coming in. So they were just trying to find out where's the song. They'll play this. The signal is this. I'm like, why are you asking me? You have the song already. Play the song. But they kept on playing the wrong song, and I refused to come inside. In fact, at the point, my husband was like, "No, let's just go inside," because people already, at the entrance with the phones, cameras, just to have the video of our first entrance song. And but I was just there. I was not going to go inside. So eventually, they found not the song, but I think the second song or something like that. But because the other ones were just like, I'm like, where did you get this song? No, this is not my song. No, 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 this is not even part of the song. This is not even part of the playlist. But I think eventually just found one song, and I was like, okay, let's just go in. So because there was a song that I was hoping to hear when I was going to enter, there was a kind of dance that I wanted to dance. There was a kind of atmosphere I wanted, but that was because of the choice of the wrongs of the song. No, the wrong song. I just lost it. I could not flow. I found it difficult to enjoy the moment, even though you can say, oh, that's understandable. I later found out that that actually affected my mood, like almost throughout the reception. I don't know how that happened, but somehow, even though at a point I would have forgotten, but at another point I'll just be like, oh, this just went wrong. Another thing that happened again, I think the song I was supposed to dance to with my dad, I can't remember. Another song, something also happened, maybe with my dad, or I can't remember. So I'm like, oh no, you people are just so competent. So it actually robbed me of my big day, of the plan, of the premeditated joy, happiness that I was like, oh, when I and that is to tell you that not just the scenario, in other scenarios, I've learned that never allow, just find the way, just like the present saying we say now, that when life throws lemons at you, turn it to lemonade, right? So at that moment, I find it difficult to make my lemons lemonade. No, lemons are going to be lemons. I'm not going to lie to myself. That's what you tell yourself. I cannot lie. It's lemon. Why will I be saying it's lemonade? No, it's lemon. It's wrong. But the thing is, I was robbing myself of the joy of the moment, because I attached a level of happiness to that time, and because I didn't get the feeling I was supposed to get, to act in a way, I did not know what to do. My emotions were just not like I was shouting. I was still cool, but I was not just enjoying it anymore. And this just to tell you that regardless of what life throws at you, regardless of what is happening, do not postpone your happiness. Do not, you know, put your happiness in a box, in a basket, or in a person, and say, oh, until I get married, I'll be happy, or when I get this job. Be happy in the moment, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how, you know, no matter how uneasy it might look, or no matter how unpleasant the situation is. Try as much as possible to not allow the distractions or the things that did not work out affect your present happiness. Enjoy the moment. That is what I'm saying in essence. Learn to enjoy the moment. Do not postpone your happiness and say, oh, I'll be happy when I get there. Or I'll be happy when I move out of Nigeria. I'll be happy when I get married to my dream man, my Night Sherman Hammer. Or I'm going to be happy when I start this job. Why not now? In fact, a happy individual makes a happy spouse, right? Is not no one has no one should have no one should be a custodian of your happiness. Yeah. In fact, it's only God that that makes us to draw from Him joy. It's only joy that we can draw from God. Say we draw from the well. It's even with your joy that you draw from God's well. So why would you want to attach your happiness or what your present happiness to a person or a thing or a situation, and when those things do not fall in place or you know happen the way you mapped out, you're lost. Okay. Another thing I want you to know, that it is never too late for you. So whether you're stuck, whether you're lost, whether you're feeling unfulfilled, probably what you might be telling yourself, what you need to do is start over again, or take a pause, or take two step backwards, or probably what you need to do is go back to school, or you did a business, it failed, you need to do another one again. What I just want to say to you is never too late. Whether to start again, whether to do it again, whether to continue to do it, it is never too late for you. And so the third thing I would like to discuss is, there are some truths you need to accept, whether you're feeling lost, whether you're being scared, confused, stalked, or unfulfilled. Clarity comes from honesty, not hurry. You need to be honest with yourself, and that is the only time you can get clarity. Someone was asking me about something few days ago, and she asked me, she said, Mrs. Grace, I want to make a decision and I don't know what to do. So I have option A, option B. Should I go to this place? Should I stay here? And I'm like, why do you actually have these as A and B already as your options? I think you already know what to do. And I asked, I said, you know what to do. You just asked it, or you needed someone to just agree with what you've agreed for yourself. And I asked her, I think you know what you want to do. In your heart of hearts, you know what you wanted to do, right? She's like, yeah, I think, but I'm still not sure. I'm like, if you're really, trying to open up to cancel, I think you need to, as much as possible, to be open-minded as possible. Because in the conversation, she kept on going, because she kept on going to what she wanted to do. She kept on trying to make it, appeal to me why what she wanted to do was what she wanted to do, even though it looks as if she was asking me, what should I do? And I'm like, you're already making this juicy offer about this particular option. You're making this look so nice, prop, and the best option to make, and you're still wanting me to tell you not to take that option. Who am I? So I need you to be very, very honest with yourself, because clarity comes from honesty. You need to be honest with where you are, what you're feeling presently. Are you feeling lost? Are you overwhelmed? Are you confused? Are you stuck? Are you feeling unfulfilled. And another thing I need you to know is you don't need to have it all figured out. Like I said earlier, none of us have it all figured out. At some point or the other, in different situation or the other, we are still figuring out one thing or the other. Like presently, I just had my first baby, um, some months ago. And even though it looks like, oh, I've had this baby for over 6 months, there's still a lot of things I'm still figuring out. Even though I might have something to say to someone that just had a baby a month ago, or someone that is pregnant presently, even though it looks like, oh, she knows a lot about babies, oh, she helped me. Even though I might have something to say to you, because I've passed that level, right? Because I've passed a 1 month old baby, or I've passed the pregnancy stage, I can say one or two. But I'm still also figuring out what I'm doing with my baby. Or what next to do, because my baby is presently, for example, now, my baby is teething, and there's still some things I'm still trying to figure out. His sleep pattern has changed, his eating has changed. That is me still figuring out the baby. Another, milestone will come probably when he starts to work. Now I'll have to figure out, oh, okay, I think this change is happening. That is how life is. There's always one thing to, even though we all have babies, but the stage or the phase of our babies, is different. My own baby is 6 months, yours is 3 months, or yours is 9 months, or yours is 2 years. You already have a toddler. Even though we all have a baby, or we have a toddler, or we have a child, to you this can be like a business, a career, you know, a purpose. We all have something we are sorting out. That we're not figuring out the same thing or at the same level does not mean I'm not also figuring out something. All right. So another thing I need you to know is that your path is unique to you. Your path is unique to you. There's nobody on earth that has your path, the way you will work on it, that will go through the childhood training you went through, the adulthood training, that will be in the same city that you're in, that will have your fingerprint, that will have your body color, that will have your body shape. There's nobody that is 100% you, right? In physical, in psychological, in your experience, there is no identical you on earth. You are uniquely you. I need you to always remember that there is no you like you on earth that has the same experience, exposure, body shape, fingerprints, mind visions, or purpose as you have it. So do not compare yourself to anyone. In fact, the Bible says, they that compare themselves with others, they are unwise. It did not call them confused or stuck or unfit. It said they are unwise. And what unwise men is? Fools. So in order not for you to work in foolishness, in order not for you to exhibit, someone that is foolish, you need not to compare yourself with any other person, because your path is unique to you. Another thing I need to know is that growth requires discomfort and sometimes can come with uncertainty. So there are times that you can, have a level of discomfort or experience uncertainty. The important thing is what you do when you're in that situation, how you handle it, what you do from there, where you go from there, how you handle it. Do you read books, or do you just suck, or do you just murmur or grumble, or you're trying to figure out what to do, who you need to become, the next thing to do, what to build you, who to talk to. So all of these things determines how you will, how you will evolve a situation of what is happening to you. All right. So the fact that you're having or experiencing some discomfort or uncertainty does not mean you're a bad person, or does not mean that God does not care about you, does not mean you're the worst person on earth facing this, or there's nobody going through what you're going through. Hey, babe, do not let Satan lie to you. There are thousands and millions and trillions of people going through shit every day. All right. So what you do with your situation is what matters. Do you sulk or you cry? And even if you cry, what next are you going to do? Will you pick up yourself and continue to move, or you just say, "Oh, I'm down," and you stop and you're just there for the next 5 years and 10 years, or because you went through a trauma? And this is not just to say that, oh, I'm not trying to downsize what you're going through, right? I'm just saying you need to see beyond where you are. You need to see beyond what is happening to you. You need not to just personalize things and say, "This is happening to me," right? Because we personalize this thing a lot, and it makes us feel so low, because those things comes with a level of energy, and it makes you drain. It makes you, feel like you're drained. We personalize these things a lot, and they're like, "Oh, this thing is happening to me." And because this is how you see, this is your perception, you see everything working against you. You see the whole universe working against you. You see people that are working on their own, that have no business with you, or probably had said nothing to you. You feel like, "Oh, everybody's gossiping about me." Or, "Oh, someone is saying something about me," when no one knows no shit about you. Right? Um, so I need you to start having, you know, to start shifting your mindset. And how are you going to do this? I want you to move from "I don't know" to "I am discovering." But sometimes we, you know, allow what we know, what we not know to judge us. Like, "Oh, I don't know what to do." It's okay not know what to do. But the next thing to do is, what am I trying to discover? Because when you don't know something, you should not just stay with "I don't know." Then you should start to know. You should want to discover. You should want to, you know what you don't know. So do not just say, "Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, I don't know where I'm going. Oh, I don't know my purpose. I don't know what to do. I don't know the job to take. I don't know where to move to." You need to start asking questions. And until you start asking life questions, start asking people questions, people that have gone ahead, read books, you know, ask questions, life changing questions, you will go nowhere. So, some of us, the reason why we're not moving from where we are to where we need to be, or the reason why we are feeling stuck, is because we're not asking the right questions, or we're not having the right people around us to ask the right questions. And I tell people, when your cycle of people are not helping you. I made a post a few days ago, and I said that sometimes we are just too loyal to some relationships that are not changing. You're not changing. The relationship is not in any way helping my life grow, transform, or become a better person. And I'm not doing the same thing to you. So why are we in this relationship? No, no, nobody should keep you in a relationship, or you should not keep anybody in a relationship. Whatever relationship it is, business, friendship, childhood, any one relationship that is parasitic is not good for you. And you should not be loyal to a relationship that, "Oh, because we grew up together," or "because we are cousins." And this person is a parasite. All right. So it's sometimes we allow these things happen to us, and we're like, "Oh, I don't, I'm stuck with this thing." Sometimes what we are stuck with is not even as a result of what we inflicted on what is happening to us. This is what we inflicted on ourselves, joking ourselves with people that we should let go, holding on to relationship or to people or to things that have long moved ahead, and you're still holding on to them. All right. So I need you to move from fear-based decisions to purpose-driven choices. Fear-based decision to purpose-driven choices. You need to start making choices that are, that aligns with your purpose, that aligns with your values. Do not make choices from the place of fear. In fact, I tell people, do not make decisions or make choices when you are too happy, when you're sad, and when you're confused. Because trust me, you will make the wrong decision. Let me say that again. Do not make choices or make, a destiny provoking decision. I mean, a life threatening, or a, you know, a life decision when you're too happy. Because when you're too happy, you can say what you don't mean. You can Yoke yourself with something you should not. When you're too happy, do not do that. When you're too sad, because of the sad emotion you're feeling, you could say what you don't mean, or you can commit to what you don't, want to commit to, or you can, say things that you do not represent. Another thing is when you're confused, because in a state of confusion, it's just like someone that is signing a document. Sometimes they will ask, did you sign this document under duress? Because at that state, you're not in your right frame of mind. Anything you do, in a place of confusion, you're not sure. You don't know what you're doing. You're just doing it probably because someone said this, because you don't know what to do. Well, I just sometimes when you're confused, you don't need to make some choices. Because what makes us to make those choices, because we feel like, oh, we're in a hurry, or we have to. No, you don't have to. Sometimes you need to give yourself time to come back to yourself, to know what you want for yourself, to know what you want to do. You don't necessarily have to make choices when you're confused. And that is why retreat is important, fasting is important, meditation is important. It helps us to, look back, it helps us to, you know, um, it helps us to ask important questions, it helps us to recharge, it helps us to revitalize ourselves, okay? And so as we wrap up on this episode, these are some of the highlights that I want you to take from this entire episode. The first is you are not lost, you are becoming. And for you to know what you're actually going through or what is happening, you need to be honest. Honesty with yourself is the first step to clarity. So you need to be honest with yourself. What is happening? How did you get here? What do you need to do from here? What brought you here? Where are you? Are you lost? Are you stuck? Are you unfulfilled? Are you confused? Are you bitter? What is really happening to you? You need to be able to name your situation. Then I need you to also take this away. Your journey is unique. So stop comparing. I've said it over and over and over again. Your journey is unique. So stop comparing. Another thing I need you to know, the fourth thing I need you to take away from today's episode is small steps today lead to a different tomorrow. So we don't always have it all figured out, but the fact that we are true to ourselves, we know our journey, we understand who we are, we know our purpose on earth, and we are making daily impacts. We are taking daily steps, no matter how small or how big. Today I might be able to do 100. Tomorrow, probably what I'm going to do is just 20, or the next day what I'm able to do is 50. The fact that you're consistent in showing up every day, that is all that matters, right? And the last thing I want you to take away from today's episode is you have the power to create the life you want. And that is because you're a life-giving being. The breath of God is inside of you. When God created man, his breath inside man, and it said man became a living being. I'm talking about how that the spirit that raised Christ from death, if that spirit dwells in our mortal body, we say to this mountain, be removed and cast into the sea. So you are a life-giving being. You carry the very life of God. You are very God's image. The same way God was able to give life to the earth that we are in right now. He gave life to the trees, to the fishes, and not everything in it. You can give life to your situation. Do not make what you're going through. Do not personalize it. It's not just about it. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. It's happening to make you become who and what God has set you to be. So I guess this is just a wrap for today's episode. I hope it was engaging, enlightening, educating, and eye-opening as it hit from me to you. I hope that you were able to pick one or two that I shared in today's episode. Please let me know how this has helped you, or how this is, what you picked from today's episode. Let me know what it does to you. Please feel free to share with me in the comments. I'm actually going to read all comments. I'm reading all comments. And don't forget to like, share this with your friends, someone that is in, probably that needs to hear this, that is in a season. In fact, we are all, just like I said, we are all figuring something out at different points. So this episode is, is an important for an episode that is important for every individual, because at one point or the other, trust me, we all need to listen to stuff like this, especially as young people in today's world. Thank you so much, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at graceolusesi, and I see you on my next episode. Bye.